morning, everyone. I hope you all are good and welcome back to my 7th episode of Good News with Nishi. Today's episode is entirely dedicated to young heroes. Heroes comes in all shapes and sizes, and I've been passionately striving to share stories of young heroes who have stood out in extraordinary ways. Here is our first story of a 6-year-old boy from Wyoming, a state from the western United States. Bridger Walker, a 6-year-old boy, put himself in harm's way when he jumped in front of the dog that was charging at his younger sister. Despite being bitten several times on the cheeks by a dog, the boy managed to grab his sister's hand and bring her to safety. Bridger, who is seen in the picture with severe wounds on his mouth, left cheek and eye, required 90 stitches following the attack. He is recovering at home now and his wounds look much more better. His family says he is in great spirits and his awesome personality is still intact. Bridger may not have superpowers, but he has proved himself a hero. This 6-year-old is incredibly courageous and an amazing big brother. Bridger adored his sister from the moment she was born and vowed to protect her from then on. And he made a good on that promise by putting himself in harm's way by saving his sister's life. Our next story is of 11-year-old girl from Uttarakhand, a state in northern India. 11-year-old Rakhi and her 4-year-old brother were returning home from their farm when leopard attacked them. Rakhi immediately covered her 4-year-old brother using her body as a shield. Leopard kept attacking her, but she didn't leave her brother. Finally, when her mother continuously shouted, the leopard left. Rakhi received severe injuries to her head and arms. This 11-year-old Rakhi has shown exemplary courage in front of such a ferocious animal. Leopard attack kids as their soft target, easy to drag and can hardly defend themselves. But in this case, this brave girl somehow managed to save her brother's life, who would have been otherwise killed. Rakhi later conferred with National Bravery Award this year. Our next story is of a 12-year-old boy from Bradford City in England. 12-year-old Dallin risked his life to save his friend's life by pushing him out of the way of a runaway car and taking the brunt of the impact on himself. Dallin was walking home with his friend James when he was faced with a split-second life or death decision. A Vauxhall Vectra with no driver had mounted the pavement and was careering towards them, gathering speed all the time. Without a thought for his own safety, Dallin shoved his friend out of the way and took the full impact himself. Dallin was dragged under the car, which police believed had a faulty or unsecured handbrake, was trapped when it hit the fence. Dallin said the car was quite fast and he did not have enough time to think. He just pushed his friend out of the way, as he was smaller than him and he would have been killed if the car hit him. Dallin managed to keep his head up as he was dragged along because he knew he would have been killed if it touched the ground. He was trapped underneath the car in a fetal position, stuck behind the wheel. Dallin suffered back injuries, broken ribs, fractured pelvis and was off school for 8 weeks. Dallin represents a form of courage that many adults might not show. Instead of screaming or running, he pushed his friend out of the way. He saved his life, was badly injured himself. He's surely an extraordinary child. Our last story for today is of 11-year-old boy from Assam, a northeastern state of India. 11-year-old Kamal Krishna Das jumped into flooded Brahmaputra river thrice to save his mother, his aunt and a stranger. Tragedy struck when a country boat carrying Kamal, his mother and aunt hit a pillar of a water supply project and capsized. Seeing this, his mother yelled at him to take off his shoes and swim to a safety spot. When Kamal reached at a safety spot, he realized his mother and aunt were nowhere to be seen. In the next 20 minutes, this little boy turned into a savior no one would have ever imagined him to be. Knowing that his mother couldn't swim, Kamal ventured into the water and pulled his mother to safety. Immediately after saving his mother, he jumped back and rescued his aunt. After saving his mother and aunt, he saw a lady in a burqa with a child in her arms struggling to reach ashore. He acted quickly and rescued both. Unfortunately, child slept out of her mother's arms and mother jumped back to save her child. When asked whether he was afraid to risk his life, Kamal says the current was strong, but he was not afraid. I hope we all learn from these young heroes. That's it for today. Do like my videos if you like them. Do comment, do share my videos. And if you're watching this video for the first time, do subscribe my channel. See you again in my next episode of Good News with Nishi. Stay safe, stay connected.